Why do you think Blade Runner has become one of the all-time great sci-fi films? And could you briefly describe your experience working with Ridley Scott?
Well, I was 17 or something at the time, so it was really the most like what I wanted movie making. Like when I decided I wanted to be an actress when I was 11, I wanted to basically do it so that I could go to the Land of Oz and meet the Tin Woodsman and the Cowardly Lion, and I just wanted to go there. I didn't really want a job. I just wanted to be able to go to those places, and I figured, well, if you're in the movies, then you get to do that. And that's what Blade Runner was like. I mean, Ridley was an art director, so the sets were staggering. You didn't have to act when you got to work. You just were in another world. I went to work, and when I got there in the morning, no one even recognized me until I put on my costume, and then they're like, "Oh, good morning, Daryl," and I'm like, "Perfect. This was just what I wanted." It's just how I imagined movie making was going to be. Of course, it's rarely been that way since, but because most films don't have that kind of a creative vision or a budget or this whole world to create that now almost exists, which is creepy. Like the screens you talk to and all this stuff. It's already here, and Times Square basically looks like Blade Runner now. It's just bizarre. But I think it was one of the first films that showed a vision of the future that wasn't all like silver suits and put your palm and the door slides open and everything is clean, and it showed a realistic view of the future, which it actually is somewhat realistic, except for the flying cars. We basically we're all Blade Runnered out right now, and I think that this sort of the story of Philip K. Dick's Do Android Dreams of Electric Sheep, where like that sort of struggle of these replicants to think about what is human, what makes us human. Is it the fact that we have memories and that we have emotions, or is it what is the essence of being human? So it was artistically brilliant and creative, and it was also had a profound message, So I think it worked on a lot of levels, which it didn't when it came out. When it came out, nobody even went to go see it.
What do you think? Because you're right, when it came out, it did not do well at the box office.
Yeah.
It's like Star Trek now. Everybody looks back upon it when at the time it was canceled.
Yeah, it's weird too because like
Do you think it was too ahead of its time? What?
I think possibly, yeah. I mean, it also had sort of a grim nature about it, and people tend not to respond that well to those kinds of things at first, But like in my case, there was a scene that I was auditioning when I was auditioning for the film, where there was a fight scene with Harrison that took place in a gymnasium, and I said, Ridley, well, it takes place in a gymnasium. I'm a gymnast. Why don't I do some gymnastics? And he's like, what is that? What would that look like? And so I did some back walkovers and handsprings for him in the little trailer that I was auditioning in. And he's like, okay. So then he's like, we'll do that in the screen test. So I did it in the screen test, and then they kept the gymnastics but took it out of the gymnasium. And now you see gymnastics in every fight scene, but there wasn't really like a thing, where people would, do a handspring and kick with their foot or whatever, it wasn't so commonplace. Now it seems like every film has taken so many aspects of Blade Runner and used it that if you weren't aware of, the timing, you wouldn't think it was that original.